Hello, everyone. This is another episode of our Skyro Perspectives, and you see quite a handsome guy sitting near me, also bald like me. I don't know. It wasn't a purpose, but this is the way you are. Unfortunately, my hair is getting old. But Pavel is not getting old. He's a young and very prospective gentleman. Pavel, but we need to know a bit more than just that, right, about you. Just maybe a couple words. What
Okay.
are you doing right now in our organization?
Yep. So, hello everybody. My name is Pavel Schamberger, and my official title is head of data. But I always like to add that I'm more like externally positioned, that I'm looking into acquiring additional data sources into the business, and I think we'll get into the detail a little bit later.
Great, thank you, Paul. Yeah, maybe a bit of your past and how you come here to the Philippines, and just a
Yeah.
little bit your involvement in the area that we're talking about. Not everybody maybe have the full grip of understanding of it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say, yeah, like long story long. So I remember first get in touch with the data back at the university, and actually I studied not very technical field of study. It's new media studies, but it's based on the Faculty of Philosophy, so
Mm.
it's a little bit more philosophically positioned.
Interesting.
But still, it was part of the information science, but it wasn't the IT information science. I always say it was like one level on top of that in a way of like abstractiveness of the things. So just to mention, it was really how would you define information? So I
Mm.
still remember this, that you define information that basically the universe is complete chaos and random, and basically any information reducing this chaos, this uncertainty in the way.
Mm.
So this was the study. Of course, it was not that abstractive all the time, but generally I'm coming from that background, and really there was like one specific subject when we were analyzing data from the social networks. So back
Mm.
in the day, Facebook was still like semi-open, the APIs, and I remember what we did. We installed the R software, and
Mm.
then we were able to pool our social network of our own friends, and you could use this like social network graph analysis to somehow visualize the ties between the people.
Mm.
So it was the very very beginning. I was just pushing buttons and running codes which I didn't fully understand. I didn't understand it at all, but it worked. And eventually, I had a chance to start some kind of internship with KPMG data team, where they were happy that I heard about R and I did something like this. And that was like hell of a learning curve working there with the KPMG, because as part of advisory, we were doing like different kind of data. Really, it wasn't just the like logistic regression or probability of default, which is mostly now in the lending industry, but we are also analyzing the text, the pictures, even the
Mm.
geolocation data. So
At that time already.
yeah. Basically, back in the day, the Czech KPMG was some kind of partner to the British one. So
Mhm.
like it was the British projects, and we were kind of cheaper labor force on that. So it was super
Yeah.
interesting, super cool to learn that. And eventually, I found my way into the home credit and got shipped to the Philippines.
Right. So yeah, it's an interesting journey, right? Coming from Czech Republic to the Philippines, and you're still here. I understand you like the market.
Yeah, totally. I was saying, if somebody asks me why I'm in the Philippines, generally the market and the business perspective is super interesting. Not just mentioning the macroeconomics, right? The young population, more people getting involved in the financial services, etc. But yeah, generally the scale of Asia is, I would say, hard to imagine. Somebody who never visited, like being in Czech Republic, 10 million people. Kind of everything works, nothing really changing that fast. The force of the market is not that huge, it's kind of saturated already. But here, it's a huge scale of everything, and then you kind of understand also what the impact you can do on the market, because a lot of things are still being created or not even created yet. So from this perspective, it's super interesting.
Right. Maybe we come back to the market in some instances, but just wanted to understand. You still have your Czech background, but your relationship to your alma mater, is it still a warm type of connection?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, I'm kind of proud about this. I'm currently basically visiting teacher. I don't dare to say professor, but
we should call you professor in the organization, right?
Yeah, I had a chance to create this optional subject from scratch at my alma mater, and really it basically happened during the COVID when I was back in Czech, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a good idea to get involved again in my academia, in my university. And basically they were like, yeah, you've been doing interesting stuff in the data, maybe you could also teach the students. So I wasn't sure that I'm able to do it, but I mean, it's good. It's basically when you want to teach somebody, you need to also strengthen things in your own head, because you know the things, but to give it to somebody, you need to more structure it and get ready for it. So it was also a good journey for me. And as mentioned, my university is not that very technical, so I think a lot of students actually kind of underestimate themselves in this way. It's like, oh yeah, we are not like mathematics faculty.
Difficult.
It's the data. It must be about the numbers. So it kind of is, but I'm also trying to give them my experience. Where doing the end-to-end data project, of course, you need to do this data science, but it's just like one piece, which is actually crucial, but not that big. So it's also like talking to the partners, going through the IT, going through the legal, and managing the data science guys is another thing, So it's like end-to-end thing, and also trying to show them that the data is not like something given by universe, right? It's not like atom
Right.
or something. It's something humans created, and I've seen this in my experience that a lot of times the one does not equal to one, because some system starts from zero counting, other starts from the one, and it was written by the human. So usually you need to do one step ahead and understand the data, how it was created, generated, structured, which system produced that. So really, I'm trying to give this experience to the student, and I believe a couple of them actually started to work in the data industry afterwards, leading some kind of projects since. Because if you mention all these algorithms and regressions, it might sound scary, but when you realize it's actually you just doing this, which is not that complicated, so next time you hear this term, you're not scared anymore. So that's my mission: encourage like more humanities-based students to also look into this, and maybe also to give you perspective. I was surprised myself that the Faculty of Philosophy actually they do a lot of data science, but it's mostly they call this digital humanities. So it might be analyzing of the books, the language. So it's a little bit different approach, but basically if you do some linguistic studies, now you can really through the computer analyze like big corpuses of the books. You can look at the Shakespeare, take everything he wrote, and in a couple of minutes compare it with somebody else. So I mean, they're doing more advanced stuff. So I was surprised
I can
that
see
it's actually
work already.
happening in the also humanities. So the data are coming from all the sides to us.
Pavel, professor, I do have a proposal to you. I hope difficult to resist.
Okay, I'm listening.
What we'll do this course here in the Philippines. And we'll do it for those who would be interested. We are, as a company, we wanted to provide courses in data science. We wanted to provide courses in IT. You'll be the first. You're already professor. Why not?
Yeah, I have the slides ready, so we can do it.
Okay, agreed. Right. So we have the first agreement. It's good.
Happy to do it. No, it's very nice.
Great.